VIMTV.com.
And we are VIMTV Velocities in Music today, guys. Well, first of all, you guys do know that we have a website, www.velocitiesmusic.com. Please go there and tell us what you think. And also, in all of our videos, we have in this little YouTube D-Box thing that they have down there, if you open it up, we put all of our overviews and our recommended similar artists and tracks and even links to where you can find more information about this album and information about us and the score that we give it, so that it helps you guys kind of get, you know, the video and the text side of things and give us more feedback and comments and get a musical discussion going, because that's what VIMTV is all about. Now, we're going to review Adele's second album, 21, today. Something that a lot of reviewers are scared to review because they don't like pop music. Well, this is pop music. And for an artist who's won as many Grammys as Adele so early in her career and is getting all the hype, I mean, they're comparing her to the Beatles. I mean, as far as Billboard charts go, like, she's the most popular artist since the Beatles, or apparently that's the words going around.
She's setting records.
Right, which is cool. That's, you know, we're loving that, but we wanted to analyze what we thought of the hype. I've heard a couple Adele songs in the past, wanted to check out this new album, because this is a woman who has an incredible voice. Tom?
Well, you know, I like what she's doing with pop music.
Right.
I just want to say that first of all. I have my gripes about this album. Overall, I enjoyed it, but more than anything, I love the fact that she's popular in the pop scene because there's lots of good real instrumentation on here. There's lots of soul behind the vocals.
Variety, different styles.
Exactly.
And the vocals are just good.
Oh, yeah. And I love that she's taking pop music into the direction of that soulful, old-school sound.
Yeah.
And making it work and making it popular. I really hope that people who mostly just listen to the radio and the pop charts listen to this, and that it helps them get into other things that might be more on the indie side of the music scene that have some elements similar to this. Like you were saying, like Feist.
Yeah, because there's pop indie out there.
I mean, yeah. I mean, a lot of that girl pop stuff, you know, Feist, Regina Spektor, a lot of stuff like that. Well, it's not directly comparable to this. There are similar things. And
it at least doesn't sound like a commercial for a record company.
Yeah, exactly. So I like that about this. I like how real it is. I like how honest it is. One thing, I mean, you can't deny, she's got a very powerful voice, Adele does. Now, at the same time, my biggest complaint is I feel like the songwriting doesn't quite live up to the vocal performance she can give. I think that the songs could set her up to be even more emotive and honest in her presentation, if that makes any sense. I mean, like, for example, the second to last track is Lovesong. Obviously a cover of the Cure song. It's also been covered by 311, probably other artists as well. Those are the first ones I thought of. But it's a good cover. And she does it even slower than I think it's been done most in the past. And she makes it very heartfelt and very personal. And I love its placement on the album because, as we complained about with Cancer Bats, we don't feel like it's a good idea to end on a cover, because then it's like, well, what kind of statement are you making? But if you put that too early, it would kind of steal the focus. I like where it's at in there, and it does a good job in the album. And that's a kind of example I want to use where I say I wish there was almost more heartfelt songs like that were originals on here. Because while she does a good job, she's not always entirely convincing.
Yeah, a lot of the songwriting, I mean, you do get kind of that corporate vibe from it, that this is an album that was produced and engineered to garner dollars, and that's while that's good for anything that's played on the radio, I guess, I mean, that's the purpose of it. I'm looking for something more, I'm looking for something deeper, and while Adele provides a lot of those benefits that we're talking about, there's still some drawbacks here, and that comes from the fact that I think that while this is an 11-track album, I don't really see it as an album. It's more of a compilation, because none of these songs are really related or themed, other than the fact that Adele's lyrics are all kind of depressed about some dude or multiple dudes that she's had some issues in relationships with in the past that have gone wrong. A lot of melancholic lyrics that I don't feel like enhance the album at all, and in fact sometimes I even go, this is actually drawing it away from me, partly because, just I'm a guy, and then secondly, I just don't feel like there's really that strong of lyrics. They're very face value, straightforward, kind of rudimentary, emotional lyrics, and I want something deeper from this, and if the music and the songwriting is there, if we could have some deeper lyrics too, I mean, have some more conceptualization, connections between the songs.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of really good variety in sound here, but it just doesn't have that album feel. It's just a collection of 11 tracks, and to me, that's tough, because then you're gonna have these songs that just that aren't connected. I mean, they'll work great on Pandora. They'll work great to make singles for a radio show, and maybe even played at like a, I don't know, a wedding reception or something, although that would be kind of depressing considering the lyrical content. I just feel like that could have been worked on. I also feel like the songwriting at times gets a little too poppy, just in the fact that the production is all leaned towards one way. We never get any variety, and it just gets kind of predictable because it's unoriginal. We've all heard this before. There are a couple tracks that are exceptions, like the opener, Rolling in the Deep, which is also the single. A sweet music video. It's posted at her site. I really enjoyed that. But overall, I'd say that there were times where I'd figured it out, I knew what was coming, and it just didn't do a lot for me. Although I did feel like the album, for a pop album, is pretty high quality.
I think that if this album would do a few things, and I'll name what they are. If it would have made more flow between tracks instead of just end of track, beginning of track. And I'm not saying it has to be Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon, for God's sakes, but I just mean more of a flow, you know, in how they go, rather than just a bunch of individual tracks. If they had done that, if the lyrics were a little deeper and you could tell that they were more personal to Adele, I think if she'd done that and made it a little more believable, a little more flowing, this could have been an upper 80s album, honestly. And those aspects are really what brings it down, because I feel like, once again, this is an artist that is very talented, that's just being stifled and smothered and suffocated by that pop format that really, it's a fallacy that people think you can't do more with.
Music has to be this way. Music does not have to be this way.
I mean, with the example I just used of Dark Side of the Moon, Money, still a huge hit. And that album still flows. You can still make an album that flows well and pick out singles from it that would be just as successful as anything from this. And it just doesn't happen.
And it can still sell well too. It's just this I don't know what to say, the skeleton of a business model of an album that's been constructed. And I'd like to see that go away. And I think an artist like Adele has the potential to do it.
I think she could. I hope that on her next album, things flow. It's a little more even, you know.
She has to be willing to break some more rules. You just have to be willing to stretch the boundaries, and she has the potential to do it. Whether or not that happens, probably not, since she's selling so many and breaking records with what she's doing already. Which is fine, and we're thankful for that. Overall, though, I'm not really digging the whole super awesome Adele. I'm going 69 on this one.
I'm also going 69. I enjoyed this album.
It's just,
but it's not incredible. It's
we're
good.
Like this much from being okay or in good, and then, you know, this far from being, you know, fantastic. There are some things, as Tom mentioned, that she could do. What do you guys think? Have you checked out Adele before? Do you like Adele's music? You probably love her voice. She does have a good voice. But what do you want out of the future of Adele, and what do you think about her rating? Do you think she's overhyped, underhyped? Are you just in love with her? Let us know. www.velocitiesmusic.com or youtube.com/velocitiesmusic. I'm Jake.
I'm Tom.
And we are VIMTV. Thanks for watching, everybody. We are moving music critique forward.